Welcome to this week's meeting of the Rotary E-Club of Silicon Valley. The purpose of our club is for innovation, entrepreneurship, and education. To facilitate our goals in Rotary, what we do is we use technology in order to be able to facilitate the education of our members and also members of the general public. Now, we have a very special guest today from Kamloops, British Columbia, Bernadette Siracky, who is the Executive Director of the Kamloops Food Bank. One of the programs which is run in conjunction and in partnership with the Kamloops Food Bank in Kamloops, British Columbia, is the Kamloops Rotary Food Drive. Twice a year, this program is run within our community, and it has been extremely successful. And it comes with a minimum amount of organization on behalf of the Rotary clubs. Now, the purpose of this meeting and of having Bernadette come on as part of a speaker of this club is to try to encourage our members within the world to be able to go to their area meetings of the presidents in order to start this type of a program in your area. Now, I'm going to turn it over to Bernadette, who is going to explain from her perspective what the Kamloops Rotary Food Drive is. And then I will, on behalf of the Rotarians in this area, explain their participation. Take it away, Bernadette.
Thank you, Roger. So our food bank, we're in a city. Kamloops is a city of about 90,000 people. We have 5 Rotary clubs in our city. And I started here at the food bank just over 10 years ago. So we have 2 major parts of what we do. One of them is, well, we operate many different programs. One of them being perishable food recovery. I would love to come and talk to you about food waste and how we divert food waste in our community. It's a very powerful program. But our non-perishable program, and what Roger and I talked about today, was the food drives, the non-perishable food drives that we do with Rotary. So when I came on board, we decided to approach Rotary and see if they wanted to partner with this. And it started out as a grassroots effort. So the first year, we had about 3 weeks planning, and we just put together some maps and had some radio advertising, and we collected 15,000 pounds of food, which was quite stunning considering nobody knew about this event. And it's become something that 10 years ago, I don't think we could have imagined, has become a bit of a, I don't know, it's its own entity in our city, really. I'm going to show a video, and then I'm going to talk a little bit more about it. So this video will give you some context. It's actually a video that I showed last year when I went around to all of the Rotary groups to thank them for their support. So I think it will give you some good context to continue the conversation. So I'm going to try and use this properly, and let's see if it works. Oh boy, I hope it's playing. I don't think so. Sorry, we did test this out beforehand. Where are we here? There we go. Can you see it, Roger?
I can see it.
Oh, okay, thank you, Farine. All right. Stop share. Okay, are we back?
I'm creating my Wix site. You think you already have a stunning website? That's cool. You're welcome to skip.
Another video is playing here.
Now at Wix.com.
I'm not sure.
Hundreds of beautiful.
Okay. There we go. Am I back?
Yes,
okay.
you are.
So as you can see, it's sort of evolved over the years. And what we're doing now, and this video kind of highlighted, is we, several years ago, 9 years ago, we started ordering these yellow plastic bags that we delivered through our local newspaper to people's homes. And as you know, single-use plastic bags are certainly not something we want to continue using. So we're trying to shift behavior with folks and use containers that they already have at home. So we've done that a couple of times, and it's proven successful so far. So we'll see how that goes. But more than the logistics of this program, it's become a family and a community event that rivals almost no other. People have said to me, you know, my kids have grown up going to the food drives, and I'm like, wow, you don't think you're going to hear those things when you start something 10 years later. So there were kids that weren't even born that are coming and helping us sort food now. It's as you can see through the pictures in the video, everybody brings their kids, and it is absolutely it's a community event, but it's also a family event. So we're increasing awareness of what we do, but we're showing what compassion really looks like to a new generation. So it goes, you know, it's going as strong as it did 10 years ago. And what we're finding is that as new people join Rotary, they get, if people have done it for 10 years and they're feeling a little tired or whatever, it doesn't matter. New people are coming in and engaging in a really meaningful way. So, but it brings Rotarians to the food bank, a building that they supported a renovation of. So that's why we didn't bring the food here until 2016, because we had a much smaller building, and we took it to a moving company, Milton's Movers, who is a Rotarian in town. We brought all the food there, and then we had to store it, etc. But now we're able to bring it here. Rotary helped us build a building, and then they come to this building in such a meaningful way. So I think it really engages Rotarians in a powerful way, this food drive. It brings them to the organization that they support. So they're not just writing a check or supporting it in word. It really is indeed. And so it's been, for us, an incredibly positive and helpful collaborative effort. Yeah. So, I mean, I could answer questions forever about the logistics and how to set this up, but essentially, that's what we do here in Kamloops. And I always say to the groups that they should be bragging about this across Canada. I don't know another city that does this type of a food drive with just Rotarians. It's pretty spectacular. Yeah. So I don't know if you have questions at this point.
Thank you, Bernadette. I think at this point in time, what I'll do is I'll outline the program from a Rotary perspective.
Sure.
In Rotary, in each district, there's an area. And each club president belongs to an area group of presidents. And in Kamloops, the area includes the 5 clubs from Kamloops. And it's organized at the area level. The 5 presidents each year organize the food drive. Now, if you were to start this type of a program in your community, the person would have to, first of all, do 2 things. First of all, is contact the food bank in your area and start a partnership like the Rotary clubs have with Bernadette and the Kamloops Food Bank. And secondly, you would have to make a meeting with the area presidents so that it can be organized within your area Rotary. What happens is that the food drive is advertised in the various media. Each of the clubs participates in giving the food drive a budget, which
So we organize all of the marketing, the ordering of the yellow bags or the tags, all the graphics. We sort of take care of everything, the map creation of the city. So we give each group, each of the 5 groups, a set of maps depending on how many people they have. They hand out the maps to their folks. We make breakfast for them. We make lunch, pancake breakfast when they come, a lunch when they come back. And so, like I tell them, really each food drive probably brings in about over $150,000 worth of food in 3 hours. So even if we spend, and this is where nonprofits need to think a little bit differently. I mean, even if we spend $4,000 of our own money, does that matter? We just brought in $150,000 worth of food. So this is how we have to start thinking as nonprofits. Sometimes nonprofits are like, oh, well, we couldn't possibly spend whatever, $5,000 on yellow bags. Okay. But every 7 cents you spend for a bag, you can fill it with $30 worth of food. So we need to start thinking that way, outside of the box a little bit. But the conversation with the Rotary groups and the food bank is really key. There's some food banks that would feel overwhelmed with that amount of food coming in one day, depending on the size of the community. Yeah. So we had to learn how to manage all of that coming in all at once. And it's been so much fun, in all honesty. Those are really fun days. I mean, I've done 20 of them and they really are fun days. They are, because you are connected in with your entire community. So as long as you have some strong processes in place, it really is just logistics after that. But the sense of community is tangible. Like it is powerful. It just permeates the whole day. So and it gets these 5 clubs talking to each other and meeting each other, because often they're not connected as much as they could be, right, with the individual groups. So this is one of the only things they do all together in our city. So it's pretty powerful.
Yeah, that's one of the things that I really like, that, it's super cooperative. I mean, and I guess that's where I think our club kind of struggles with, because we are an online-based club and all of our members are all over the world. So, as much as I would, love to do this kind of event, I also am like, well, all of our members are pretty much scattered.
Yeah.
But, I mean, nonetheless,
you could inspire your local Rotary groups in town. You could kind of be the leader of it. I don't know. But, so I'm happy, though, to connect. If anybody would like to connect with me about how we did this or have any specific questions, Roger has my email address. I'd be delighted to have a conversation or an email exchange with whomever is interested. We also have a YouTube link on our website, which is where I got this video. I just took it from the YouTube link, and we have several videos on there. And another one, I would love to come and talk to your group about food waste. Just before I end, I'll just tell you that we, in our small town, we collect all of the perishable items that would normally go to the landfill: meat, dairy, bread, produce, by the millions of pounds. So we have every store on board. That took us 10 years. We have every store on board. They give us everything. In our little city, $7 million, I know, and we give it to 7,000 individuals who can come once a week for healthy food. It's stunning. And 60 organizations in town that make meals. So, the soup kitchens, meal programs that are run by the schools, and we have Rotary family dinners that we're providing all the perishable product for. It's absolutely stunning. So there's a video on there called Food Recovery, and food share is what we call it. I really encourage you to watch that and let me know if you have any questions. It's an incredibly exciting program, and we operate the largest food recovery program in Western Canada, and we're this little city, so we really have a lot to share about it if you'd ever like to chat about that.
Yes, because that is something, of course, I feel like with non-perishable foods, of course it's important, and I've heard of like can drives, like those kinds of things in school and stuff, but the idea of getting corporations to say, we will give you all of our leftover food, that is absolutely phenomenal. And I'm really excited about that. I know. I'm really excited about all of the Rotary involvement, but just how do you do this? And yes, I would love if you can come back and do another recording, and then
I would love
we can talk about that, because I'm really, that's something that's phenomenal.
Well, I'll tell you, it took 10 years. And when we started it here, the words food security or food insecurity or food waste or food recovery, they were really new words to people. That wasn't in the vocabulary. It also wasn't in the thinking of these stores, because stores aren't looking at it as food often. It's just a commodity they're selling. And if they need room, they're getting rid of that pallet. So I could talk about this forever. But I suggest you look at that video. It's only 3 minutes long, the food share video. And I hope you want to connect in about that one again. We get everything in from Costco. It's absolutely stunning. You should see the meat we get, the produce. Costco gives it to us by the pallet full.
Nice.
Like, yeah, it's amazing. So
hi again, Roger. I'm recording, so don't worry.
Roger, I think we're done. Farheen just finished the recording, so I think you'll be happy with it. Thank you for coming back. I think something happened with your camera.
I think what happened was something happened with my computer and it froze.
Yeah. Well, you look clearer than you did before anyways. Anyways, thank you so much for introducing me to this type of meeting, to Farheen and to your larger group. And like I just finished saying, Roger, and it's all recorded, but I would be honored to be in an email exchange or a phone conversation with anybody who has any questions. And I would love to come back and talk about food waste and food recovery.
Yeah.
Okay. The other thing is that next Monday morning, this program will air on our site.
Okay.
And if you could come in on, there will be at the bottom of the meeting, there's a comment section. And if you could add to the comments, because I would imagine that there will be a number of people who have questions. And I would appreciate you answering those questions.
I'm so sorry. I am going to be out of the country on Monday. I will not be here anywhere. But you know what I would love to do? I would love if you could gather any questions. I would love to answer them upon my return. So I'm coming back on February 4th. I can email responses to you, Roger, or if that would work. But
oh, sure.
Okay.
And what I will then do is relay those on to the members of the club.
Okay. Well, thank you for this. Good to meet you, Farheen.
Good to meet you too. Would you like to say one more last word? So then I'll end the recording.
Thank you for being Rotarians. I love Rotarians. I've learned about them here, and truly that video says, you know, the service about self is very clear here. And thank you for being, for putting action to compassion, for putting action to goodness in our communities. I appreciate it. Thank you.